Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at one of the newer figures in the Battle Damage line. It's the Mattel Jurassic World Battle Damage Pteranodon. Finally, we can rest a little easy now knowing that these new Battle Damage figures are finally showing up in the US. This actually popped up on Amazon's website the other day, along with the new Battle Damage Plesiosaurus. I wasn't able to get the Plesiosaurus, that one was already sold out by the time I found out about this, but I was able to finally snag the new Pteranodon. The distribution on these Battle Damage figures had been kind of weird over the last few months. This one, along with the Plesiosaurus, has been showing up mainly in Australia, and everyone was just worried and wondering when Wave 1 of the new Battle Damage figures was going to finally show up in the US. And on top of that, the Wave 2 Battle Damage, that has the Battle Damage Proceratosaurus and Monolophosaurus, is actually showing up in Canada. So that kind of goes to show you just how funky Mattel's distribution can be sometimes, but I'm glad that we finally have an opportunity to get this figure for regular retail price, and I'm sure the other waves will be following shortly. These haven't been found on store shelves yet, but I'm sure they probably will eventually start showing up in stores at some point. So let's move on to the packaging before we crack this figure open. As you can see, it comes in the new Battle Damage packaging. It's very similar to the packaging we saw with the Battle Damage Albertosaurus that came out at the beginning of the year, and here it is with the old style Battle Damage packaging, so you can see the difference. You got the new Jurassic World logo in the background with that brighter orange color packaging. You got the T-Rex now in the corner instead of Blue and Owen, and I really like this new packaging style compared to the old one. So let's spin it around quick and take a look at the back. You got a nice full art picture of the Pteranodon with its Battle Damage action, and obviously it looks like Blue and the sticky mullet will be repackaged in this newer style packaging. And like I said, also the Battle Damage Plesiosaurus is also part of this wave. So let's crack this Pteranodon open and take a closer look at this figure. Alright, here's this new Battle Damage Pteranodon. The packaging, and right off the bat, I absolutely love the new color scheme on this Pteranodon. I think it's so much better than all the other Pteranodon figures out there. Just love the black with this bright yellow wing and that red stripe along the beak. This is exactly the same mold that's been used for the previous Battle Damage Pteranodon. So before we take a closer look at this figure, let's do a couple of quick measurements. This figure is just about 9 inches long from wingtip to wingtip, and just about 5.5 inches long from the back of the legs to the tip of the beak. So spin this guy around and take a closer look at that head sculpt. This is, like I said, this is exactly the same as the other Battle Damage Pteranodon. It still has the teeth like the Jurassic Park 3 style Pteranodons. You have that nice red stripe along the top of the nose. The crest is painted in a yellow color, and you have a nice yellow eye with a black pupil. The inside of the mouth is painted red for the tongue and the back of the throat. The teeth aren't painted, but you obviously can see them sculpted in there. And spinning it around, you can just see how nice that black coloration and yellow just contrast with each other. It just looks absolutely great. I absolutely love the color scheme on this figure. Definitely blows away all the other color schemes on the Pteranodons that are currently out, in my opinion. You can see all the veins are nicely sculpted along the wings right here. You got a hole right here for some little bit of extra battle damage. Spinning the figure around, there is no color underneath the bottom of the figure other than the scan code right there. I'll get a nice focus in on that if anyone wants to scan this figure. Articulation wise, the wings can flap up and down. If you just move them, they're on a joint right here, and they can rotate also. Sorry for being so wobbly doing this, reviewing Jurassic World Pteranodon. Any pterosaur figure is just kind of a pain because I have to constantly hold the figure. There is a joint at the neck right here, and the head can rotate all the way around. There is articulation on the jaw, and then going to the legs of the figure, these can move backwards. And forwards, they kind of do move in tandem when you move one leg, but they do, if you hold one and move it back, they do move individually. And then right here along the back, you have its battle damage feature, and all you need to do is just, it's spring loaded, just tap it, and you got a mortal wound on your Pteranodon. I really do like how Mattel has implemented their battle damage with this spring-loaded action. I mean, I did like the style of the Kenner figures with the chunks that can get ripped out of them, but most of my Kenner figures are missing their pieces, so this is a nice way to not have to worry about losing a chunk of your dinosaur. Alright, let's move on to some comparisons with some other pterosaurs in the Jurassic World line. Here it is with the Morphodon. You can see the Pteranodon is just a little bit bigger than this Attack Pack Dimorphodon. And next up is the, man, I hate reviewing Jurassic World Pterosaur figures. It's just so hard to juggle everything. Here it is with the old battle damage Pteranodon. You can see the difference in the color scheme, and like I said earlier, I much prefer this color scheme over this one, and everything's the same on this figure, even the battle damage. And here it is with one of the Pteranodons that came with one of those 6-packs that was available at Target. And this one actually has flapping action on its back. You just push the button right here and it'll flap. And you'll notice the Pteranodons with that flapping action, the bodies are wider to accommodate that action feature compared to the battle damage one. I like the style body on the battle damage Pteranodons versus the ones that have the flapping action. And here it is with the Savage Strike Tapejara. You get to see how those two figures look next to each other. We definitely have a nice range of pterosaurs already in this Jurassic World line. I hope that trend continues into the future. And here it is with the Megadual Attack Quetzalcoatlus. You can see how big that wingspan is. I prefer the size of the battle damage and Savage Strike Pteranodons than the Ravor and Dual Attack Pteranodons. I think those are just too big, and I think these are just the right size to scale with most of the dinosaurs and human figures. Let me just pull down the Quetz quick so we can just get their heads next to each other. You get to see how big this Quetzalcoatlus is. I love big, goofy, bright colors on this Quetzalcoatlus. Final thoughts on this figure. This is my favorite color scheme on any of the Jurassic World Pteranodon figures. I just love how that yellow and black just contrast with each other. It looks absolutely fantastic. So I do highly recommend this figure. I think it is the best looking Jurassic World Pteranodon that is currently available, and I am very happy that this figure and the Plesiosaurus hopefully are going to be much easier for us collectors to get their hands on. I will leave a link in the description to Walmart's site for the Pteranodon and Plesiosaurus. They are both currently sold out as of this video, but you can sign up for alerts, so hopefully you can get your hands on these for their regular retail price of $9.87. So that will do it for the review, everyone. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and I will greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next one.